This has happened. Finally determined to be an S-class hunter. And there was no S-class hunter after him. What machine failure? It's because the machines here can't test the magic value of S-class hunters. His face suddenly turned pale. I understand why Bai Yuhao is so stupid. He hates himself for being so blind. Such a heavyweight is in front of me. But I don't care so much. I'm sure I won't get promoted if this keeps up. He ordered his assistant to report to his superiors immediately. Is the 10th S-class hunter born in H country? What a terrifying existence S-class hunters are. A battle between two S-class hunters paralyzed the entire country. And how difficult is it to give birth to an S-class hunter? It's something that ordinary hunters can't achieve even in their entire lifetime. Level. The only remaining S-level hunter in the entire country H is less than 10 meters tall. No wonder the director of the monitoring team is livid. The last machine failure was 2 years ago. That is the birth of the 9th S-class hunter Cha Hui. And this time Cheng Xiaoyu also caused this situation to happen to the machine. Looks like something big is going to happen. The second awakener is labeled as an S-class hunter. It's enough to drive the entire country into madness in a short amount of time. Outdoor. She is very curious. Number of landlords who suddenly returned to China. Is it related to the Red Portal incident? He was not the one behind the rumor. Because he was also there at that time. And stared at Huang Dongshu the whole time. Keep him from messing around. Although I didn't stay at the end. But he has already made up his mind. That person is Cheng Xiaoyu. Just haven't seen it with my own eyes. It's not easy for him to say it directly. The man in the pink suit did not continue to ask questions. Recently, some people discovered winged ants on coastal beaches. This time, only the body was found. If those monsters could really fly out of Jeju Island alive. The man in a natural suit stretches out his hat with a gold ring on it. When the time comes, we hunters will tear it apart. Help him with all your strength. Notice that B is doing the inspection building. It's extremely lively today. I want to take care of the man in the suit more. Put out the cigarette butt in your hand. He thinks it's not that simple. What did she notice again? I was deceived again by his gentle appearance. I almost forgot who the man in front of me was. The director in the testing hall told Cheng Xiaoyu. A precision measuring machine is required for secondary testing. Can you come back to the association in 3 days? The salesman on the side exploded when he heard this information. I was actually able to meet with my own eyes the legendary person whose level cannot be determined. Are you about to come out to level 4? They have all kinds of little things in their hearts. The 10th S-class hunter. It's not something we small and medium-sized trade unions can easily see. This is an opportunity. Why don't you close your eyes and take a gamble? My words should have some weight. Our union has no money to sign an S-class hunter. This is a salesperson assistant. Walk in from the door. A heavyweight. Chui Zhengwan of Hunter 4, the top guild in Country H. Peak figure of fire magic. A single spell can easily destroy an entire building. Cheng Xiao, the hunter known as the ultimate weapon. The nickname of the weakest weapon in the world is thanks to him. Others are talking about it. Is this skill the ultimate hunter? Have you been caught first by Hunter CG? Unexpectedly, Cheng Xiaoyu, who was previously rated as level 1. Just a few months. The young master has been promoted to level 2. Chui Zhongyin pushed up the frame. Cheng Xiaoyu looks at her. I heard something from so far away. Unable to measure machine failure. Look at the aura I exude. No need to measure again. He is the top hunter Chui Zhongyi. Showing a harmless look. Make an inviting gesture. Ask Cheng Xiaoyu if he has a favorite guild. If not, you can talk to him. And Cheng Xiaoyu passed by him. He replied lightly. Feel sorry. I don't have time. Chui Zhongyin suddenly turned pale. What happened to others? In the end, he was rejected because of the chairman. And it's not like Cheng Xiaoyu doesn't know these heavyweights. Compared with the invitations from these big guilds. At this moment, he is more concerned about the system of the water of life. So that his mother can recover soon. Choi Jongwoon smiled. It seems that I thought too simply. Able to leave without saying a word. He seems to be an excellent assassin series person. As long as he can be found. The hunter division has 3 S-class hunters. can be compared with the world's top guilds. This is the White Tiger Guild. The white and green ones rushed over to the door without stopping. At that moment, I realized that Cui Zhongming had a bad premonition in his heart. Have you noticed this duplicitous man? Cheng Xiaoyu. Cui Zhongyin looked at the white and green number. There is a long distance from the White Tiger building to the Hunter Association. Look at him running over panting. Also changed his voice. That's right. The white and green knew what was going to happen here from the beginning. Could it be that there was an accident during the White Tiger Guild's new member training? That suspicious helper turned out to be him. It's not that Bai Luhao doesn't care about that man, but can't stop it. Judging from her attitude just now, she won't be so easily controlled. Bai Luhao sighed. It seems it's still too late. It just so happened that the old slick guy discovered it. It's trouble now. How popular are S-class hunters? Cui Zhongming, chairman of the hunter division of the country's top guild. Respectfully extend your hand. Invitation can make the top White Tiger Guild white and green numbers full of firepower. Pass. Came all the way here to pick someone up. After all, as long as the S-class hunter can be successfully recruited into the guild, it can greatly increase the reputation and strength of the guild. It is also possible to elevate the guild to the top guild in the world. But they didn't expect. Cheng Xiaoyu is a beast that is difficult to tame. It's not easy to recruit him. Compared with the so-called worldly fame and fortune, he is more concerned about his mother's condition. His mother had a symptom for a year, being immersed in sleep and unable to wake up. And this disease appeared after the transmission port was opened. He told mother, "Just wait for me. I can wake you up right away." He told himself that he must become stronger. If the middle boss is of this level, then with his current strength, he still can't defeat the ultimate violent force. Walk out of the ward. He asked Cheng Xiaoyu when he was in the double dungeon that day. Were you the one who killed those monsters? Thanks to you. Let me know how bad my eyesight is. Just a faint smile. Haven't seen you for a long time. Wu Zhenzhe. Say to Cheng Xiaoyu. Some people want to see you. Gao Jianli, president of the Hunter Association. Then make a respectful gesture of invitation. Go through the long, narrow passage. Cheng Xiaoyu met Gao Jianli for the first time. An old man over 80 years old, exuding a powerful aura. He is taller than a retired wrestler. And he is also an S-class awakener. Not simple. The president said to Cheng Xiaoyu. Congratulations on becoming an S-class hunter. Cheng Xiaoyu replies. The results of his second test have not come out yet. The president told him. In fact, there is no precision measuring machine for secondary measurement. It is a machine that refines the measurement results again. It is not used to detect exceeding the measurement range. If it can be measured out of range, then there will be S-class and SS. S-class and even more underwriting and incomprehensible theory. That being the case, why arrange a secondary strategy? The president stretched out his finger and said, That's a deferment period. It's so that I can meet a hunter like you first. Time gained. You also know that the size of an association is different from that of a guild. Advertising revenue and fame will be guaranteed. Who would want to come to the association? People will remember those big guild elite strike team members. But few people know. Therefore, in order for outstanding awakened people to come to the association, we were a little clever. That's why we arranged secondary features. Buy some time for this. We are not a business. I can't promise you a lot of money, but we can help you develop in other aspects. What supports this country now is not justice. He is a hunter who protects the people from monsters, and those who manage them are the hunters. I can give you the same rights as us. Cheng Xiaoyu was quite touched when he heard the word power. Indeed, compared to money, fame and fortune, power is what people pursue more. And it still has the right to override the 5 major guilds. But he is curious. Why do you want to give him such rights? The president told him. Do you know the 5 major guilds? Now these 5 forces have finally reached a balance. No matter which guild you join, are bound to break this balance. Make waves. The legal system and general union power cannot restrain hunters at all. That's why the Hunters Association is needed. The most terrifying things in this world are monsters. And the existence more terrifying than monsters is the top hunter. What do you think? Cheng Xiaoyu fell into hesitation. This is indeed a very tempting offer. There is a high level of attention behind the establishment of the president. Even ordinary people can stand out immediately. Meteoric rise. Because of the union, government associations, and even the media will be influenced by Chairman Gao Jianli. He has the power instinct, and the strength is also very strong. I'm going to work hard to upgrade. Only then can we reach the same level as him. The Hunter Association is the sixth force that is different from the 5 major guilds. Every country must have a Hunter Association, and this old man doesn't seem to have much time. Someone needs to take his place. It's a rare opportunity. After weighing it again and again, Cheng Xiaoyu made a choice. I apologized to the president. The president was stunned, but I soon felt relieved. He seems to be a young man who pursues fame, fortune, and money. But Cheng Xiaoyu can answer any questions. I want to fight. Compared with worldly fame, wealth, and power, Cheng Xiaoyu wants to defeat the upgrade alone. If you join the association, he can't continue to upgrade. Just keep upgrading. Only then can he become stronger. He told the president. The dungeon is where he should be. The president is completely in a vacuum. How so? Those eyes contained sincerity. His heart was beating loudly. I haven't felt like this for a long time. It turns out that my heart can still beat so powerfully. If I could be 20 years younger, not 10 years younger. I also want to fight with young people like this. What a hot-blooded guy. Cheng Xiaoyu stood up and talked to the president. You are very good at judging people, but kill all the magic beasts in the double dungeon. Then walk to the door. The president put his hands on his hips and looked out the window. Cheng Xiaoyu's words open her mind that she had ignored in the past. He has always thought that as long as he has friends from the association, the world will not be chaotic, and the association wants to survive. There must be him or someone who inherits his will. It seems like it's all my own imagination. The hunter should be in the dungeon. Today is a day to let yourself go. Don't waste time on those old stubborns. He looked at the undocumented. Come and have a drink with me. Although this meeting did not yield the desired results, but let him receive a big gift. I just don't know how that friend's drinking capacity is. This S-class hunter is really seeking death. Lianqing. Jin Yu and his father also dared to provoke Sung Il, and Han Jin agreed to open the. He directly beat Huang Dongshu until he was helpless. He waved his palms angrily. Snap. Huang Dongshu woke up from his nightmare. The S-class hunter battle with Chen Rihan left him bruised and bruised. The body is covered with white bandages. Multiple fractures. His eyes are exquisite. Said impatiently. What do you do with a loser? If you have anything to say, just say it quickly. The deputy director waited aside for a long time. He asked Huang Dongshu about the tutorial. Are Japanese and Chinese men really monsters? He took out the surveillance footage of the fight that day and handed it to Huang Dongshu. Look, the ordinary man in the picture is rescuing people who fell into disaster due to fighting. Huang Dongshu looked at it, but felt no emotion in his heart. Still stick to his statement. That person is Warcraft. Seeing Huang Dongshu still doesn't change his tune. The deputy director said no more. Tell Huang Dongshu to go to the management office after treatment. Huang Dongshu asked the deputy director. How is that, man? The deputy director told him to fight with you, and then disappeared. Although the administration has been looking for him, but he even defeated you. Do you think we can catch him? The landlord cursed secretly. Damn it. So humiliating. Remember the moment before I fell into coma. What Chen Rihan said to him. Don't go anywhere anymore. This is not because I hate you, but for you. Because you will die. Don't rest in peace. An S-class hunter like me was actually threatened. Huang Dongshu plans to recover from his injuries first. Go to the guild to get weapons. Be well prepared. Shame on you. You wait for Cheng Rihan. I want to tear you apart. Hunter auction houses are materials obtained by hunters after clearing dungeons. Or equipment. Online and offline trading markets for auctions or timely sales. There are tens of thousands of amateur auctioneers in the country. It makes it easier for hunters to purchase equipment quickly and conveniently. Good equipment is a life-saving tool for hunters. Advanced Hunter. The equipment used is basically hundreds of millions or tens of billions. Cheng Xiaoyu thought that through the accumulation of this period of time, already saved a lot of money. Now it seems that I can't even afford a better piece of equipment. As the devil goes up, it's not just fire-type attacks that increase. Even the inside is a sea of fire. Therefore, Cheng Xiaoyu needs some equipment with high defense points. There is no suitable equipment in the store. He thought he might as well sell the greedy spider. Even those high-end weapons on the market. The highest level is only those who improved by 30%. The greedy spider has doubled its magic damage. If you put it on the market, you will definitely get a good price. But the problem is to get his way publicly. A first-level hunter holds this kind of equipment. Will definitely attract a wave of attention. At least there must be a guide and a teleportation tone. It won't cause too much trouble. But it will take some time for him to obtain his S-Class Hunter Qualification Certificate. Now that he is level 1, he cannot enter the advanced team battle part. He went online to look for recruitment information for high-level dungeons. I didn't expect to find it. Give Cheng Xiaoyu's personal resume to the chairman. The president found it a bit incredible after reading it. Cheng Xiaoyu, who was the weakest level, actually stayed in the dungeon for 4 years. Is he a cheater? Or maybe he is not an S-Class hunter who has recently awakened for the second time. It is said that Cheng Jinyu wanted to raise money for his mother's hospitalization expenses. That's why I never gave up. The president was doubtful. Even if injured repeatedly. Also stick to it. No ability. But he has to replace his missing father. Taking care of my sick mother and my younger sister who is still in school. Such young people are really rare. There are reports that Hunter Cheng Jinwu has joined the team fighting team. And it's the team fighting team of the 4 hunter guilds. The president murmured in his heart. Could this guy be just saying nice things? In fact, I took a fancy to the tall building that the hunter tore apart. Qing Yuji. What he said next made the captain completely confused. Cheng Xiao and Hunter are not in the attack team. But the mining team. S-Class Hunter actually applied to be a miner. What an elusive guy. The mine manager took the information and carefully looked at Cheng Xiaolong, who was wearing a mining charm. Although he is a first-level hunter. But the combat type was immediately overjoyed. Although miners only need mining support. No need to fight monsters. But there is always safety when a combat-type miner is by your side. The reason why Cheng Xiaoyu sneaked into the construction team. Mainly because I want to avoid arousing suspicion from others. Observe how to conquer advanced dungeons. The high-end dungeon is very large. One cock team can't do it all. Therefore, there is division of labor and cooperation. Defeat the dungeon. The person responsible for mining or in the ox attack team is driving a tank. It is the recovery team that recovers the corpses of the monsters. Mining and recycling teams. You need to wait for the attacking team to eliminate all the mobs in the teleportation port first. These 2 logistics teams in Beijing require the investment of many people, because modern machines cannot operate in dungeons. Therefore, the construction methods are also very old. Just a hardcore. This is the first time he has seen its transmission port as big as 1 word. I've always wanted to see with my own eyes what a high-end dungeon looks like. Looks like you've come to the right place. This is how top guilds conquer advanced dungeons. Not only the division of labor details. Still in order. How to conquer low-level dungeons with a small guild. It's really a world of difference. The attack team enters the dungeon first. After clearing the mobs. Only the logistics team can enter. Cui Zhongying, the leader of the hunter division, personally took command of the battle. He frowned. The area of the dungeon this time is too large. The expected strategy time has been exceeded. They have another trip. Delay any longer. Will affect other teams. It's strange to see the tall person in front of me. There is no wave in his heart. It seems that we can only use simple and crude methods. He threw out the cigarette from his mouth. Smoke hovers in the air with sparks. Cui Zhongying stood up against the ashes. Suddenly a bright light. A huge flame shot out from his hand. Pay attention to the monster on the opposite side. Flames pass through the monster's body. Running around in the cave again. Burn the entire cave mercilessly. Take it in his hand. Instruct your men's human shields to get ready. The storm is coming. Hear command. The meat shields all move together. Tie the shield in your hand into a row of flames. After walking through the entire cave, start running back. Focus on the defenses prepared in advance. Although I don't know how big this dungeon is, but this will instantly turn the nearby monsters into ashes. Watching Cui Zhongying hit him casually. It has such great power. His subordinates were immediately in awe. The mine manager is impatient to wait outside. This time the strategy took much longer than expected. Wait for them to go in and work. I don't know until what time I have to work overtime. At this time, his subordinates shouted to the raiders to come out. Everyone, get your equipment. Going in soon. Cheng Xiaoyu watched them attentively. The best attack team in the Country Hunter 4 attack team. This time, not only did Chairman Cui Zhoming personally take the lead, and the second in command of the company, Hunter Division, Guild Leader, the S-Class Hunter car will release a powerful aura from its body. At least it is in existence of the same level as Zun Zungi, maybe even above him. It may even rival the high establishment of the Hunter Association. The president felt someone was watching his car, glancing at the crowd, but no suspicious person was found. But I clearly felt a strong aura just now. Cheng Xiaoyu sighed. Fortunately, I was able to attract the breath from my body in time. Chahui's perception is very high. Give a long wave of your hand. Cheng Xiaoyu arrived at their working time. Cheng Xiaoyu took a closer look. And the dungeon is really not that big. Even the wind blowing is not just wind. It's the wind with magical fluctuations. Recycling comparison. The mining team entered the underground city first. Already done in full swing. The raiders team first unfreezes all the monsters except the ultimate cube. Then the recovery team will pull up the corpse of the monster. Finally, the mining team entered the underground city to mine the ore. If you want to maximize your profits, you can't miss any link. Magic crystals and magic stones can be exchanged for money. Advanced monster corpse with multiple uses. You can also exchange for a lot of blood, the bones, skin, and flesh of monsters. Every part of the corpse of a high-level monster has. This is a low-level dungeon. The difference between Warcraft and Advanced Dungeon Warcraft. It can be said that money is everywhere in high-end dungeons. After completing the above process, the attack team comes in again. Kill the final boss. Then close the transfer port. This is the entire process of conquering advanced dungeons. Cheng Xiaoyu asked the mine manager, "Aren't you afraid that the ultimate retribution will come out?" The mine manager told him, "There is basically no such possibility." He has worked in the Hunter Division for 3 years. This has never happened. Cheng Xiaoyu thought, sometimes it's a good thing not to know the law, even if he does nothing. This fluctuation of magic power is enough to make the hunter tremble. He took out his pickaxe and started working. The mine manager was stunned. This mining posture is not like someone who is mining for the first time. They don't even have the most experienced miners in the team. This fucking guy is a born miner. It's time to eat. Cheng Xiaoyu told the mine manager. Already eaten. After taking the miners away, Cheng Xiaoyu put down the pickaxe to eat. Have a full hour of free time. Such a good opportunity. Can't miss it. His feet slipped. Ran directly into the final boss room. Giant monster. This looks even more awesome than the 2 class dominators in the demon realm. Suddenly, Xiaoyu felt itchy. I want to try my fighting ability. When the weapon is just halfway out, he took control of his mind. Tell him not to kill him. The moment that killed him, the portal will be closed. The Hunter Guild suffered heavy losses. When the time comes to find out, it will be more than worth the loss. At this time, there was a scolding from behind. What are you doing there? He is an S-class hunter, but he was an ordinary miner in the attack team. The reason is that I want to secretly learn from the top teams how to conquer dungeons. But when he saw the final boss in an episode, but eager to try, fortunately, reason has defeated the desire to fight. Almost discovered by the second in command of the Hunter Division. In panic, I had to find an excuse to get lost. The car association has been doubtful. I just saw him holding a weapon, but now it's gone. Without evidence, he had no choice but to ask Cheng Xiaoyu to get out quickly. In case the ultimate boss is alarmed, everyone in the underground city must die. The moment we passed each other, I was stunned after the car accident. He called Cheng Xiaoyu and tattooed temptation on his body, instantly opening up his sensitive sense of smell. There is no smell. He picked up Cheng Xiaoyu's father-in-law and asked him, "Are you really a hunter?" Cheng Xiaoyu asked puzzledly, "Yes. Is there any problem? The car meeting will be made public as soon as you see it." The qualification certificate indeed says level 1 hunter in black and white. Cheng Xiaoyu could only say an embarrassing price. Tell Cheng Xiaoyu not to wander around. Dungeons are dangerous. Watching Cheng Xiaoyu's leaving figure, countless black question marks flashed through Che Hui's mind. Why doesn't he smell bad? Is it because the level is too low? Not only that. On the contrary, it has a very good taste. Cheng Xiaoyu returns to the miners. The mine manager looked envious. No matter how lost you are, you will get into a car accident. A hunter. He worked for 3 years. Not even a chance to say a word. Speaking of the car meeting, the mine manager was very moved. This is the first time he has seen someone who works so seriously. Every time he is afraid that the ultimate revenge will suddenly come out. So every time when the logistics team collects resources, come in for inspection. In the eyes of the mine manager, the car accident meter is a dedicated prey. That's because the people in the mining team have never seen the ultimate treasure, can't feel the magic either. But everyone on the attack team knows what a terrifying existence the final boss is. Once an accident happens, the consequences are disastrous. Another mine has symmetry. Xiaoyu said. Che Hui also has a special physique. Super strong sense of smell. You can also smell the unique smell of hunters. But it must smell pretty bad. So every time I see him, he is my dog. Cheng Xiaoyu suddenly realized. That's why I was asked if I was a hunter just now. He suddenly thought of the ghost in the red portal. Che Hui's situation is very similar to him. The Ghost King cannot hear the voice of killing Cheng Jinyu. Cha Hui didn't smell Sung Jinwa's body, because he is the only player who is cared for by the system. Finished. The mine manager handed Cheng Xiao and the mining salary, because Cheng Xiao and the amazing mining speed. What they were able to finish 2 hours early, much faster than the recycling team. The mine manager's eyes are full of love. This was the first time he had seen such an efficient miner. He invited Cheng Xiaoyu. Hope Cheng Xiaoyu can join his miners' team. Cheng Xiaoyu smiled and refused. He already understands the general strategy project. No need to be a miner anymore. But when he heard the mine manager say, "There will be a strategy battle tomorrow, so I won't sleep." Pass the strategy, but avoid strategy. Looking north. In the entire country, only hunters have this strength. The strategy and teleportation can be divided into 2 teams to strategy. Cheng Xiaoyu was moved. He asked where the miners would meet tomorrow. In the barbecue restaurant. The rich second generation drank until his face turned red. Sitting opposite her was her cousin. Since the last time I said goodbye to Cheng Xiaoyu has not contacted the rich second generation for a week. Can't even get through on the phone. She took her cell phone and cried to her cousin. My cousin was confused. Is this a relationship? So disgusting. It's simply unsightly. He snatched the mobile phone of the rich second generation. I want to call his so-called big brother. What a coincidence. Big brother just called over. The rich second generation feels like meeting their lovers. Instant smile. He can't wait to meet Cheng Xiaoyu now. But considering it was too late, I made an appointment with Cheng Xiao to meet tomorrow. And Cheng Xiaoyu will continue to go to the underground city to close the door tomorrow. So make an appointment for tomorrow night. The rich second generation agreed with excitement. In a high-end community, the car club stands in front of the dazzling floor-to-ceiling windows. Say to the other end of the phone, I would like to ask you to help me find out about Cheng Xiaoyun from the mining team. He is a top hunter. Need to deal with hunters every day. But he has a special physique. The smell from the hunter makes him feel sick. So every time a hunter is around, he must be undocumented. As for Cheng Xiaoyu, but he can't smell the stench. It even smells good. Of course, the most suspicious thing is Cheng Xiaoyu's strange movements. Such a big underground city. Even an elk. But he happened to be fascinated by the newspaper room. He dialed the phone. Asked someone to help investigate. Cheng Xiaoyu is this person. The person on the phone was very accommodating. Why have so many people been investigating him recently? Just yesterday, Chairman Chui Zhongying contacted him. Investigate Cheng Xiao. He went to great lengths to find out. But the association blocked the news. This is the first time I've encountered this situation. A level 1 hunter's information has been blocked. There are so many important people who want to investigate. What is going on? As soon as Che Hui hung up the phone, he lay on the bed. I have mixed feelings in my heart. Who is this person? 1 level, but so many people investigating. He was also blocked by the association. And among so many hunters, why is he the only one who is different? He is the first hunter to smell good. The next day, Cheng Xiaoyu came to the designated strategy area. The mine manager and his party had already arrived early. They greeted Cheng Xiaoyu warmly. This reminded him of Uncle Song Jigua. It's been a long time since they felt like this. Already forgotten for a long time. The air here evokes many memories from the past. At this time, Captain Sun Chijuan, a level A hunter, came over. Their team's porter has something to do and can't come today. I want to pick up someone from the mine manager. Absenteeism. Even if you need a porter, you should also find a strong recycling team. Barimi, the boss of the recycling team. Because the mining team ended their work early yesterday. Let their recycling team not even have dinner. I did it for 3 hours straight. He definitely doesn't want to see this person today. No one wants to marry Sun Chijuan. The captain proposed that he could get additional subsidies after the team battle. But even so, no one wants to go either. The mine manager expressed everyone's concerns. Even a B-level dungeon will have it. What's more, it's an A-level dungeon. Most of the mining team are B-level prey. There's even an episode. Hunters of their level would be dead if injured inside. Who would be willing to risk it for this little money? This made the scene suddenly awkward. Just when the captain was at a loss. Hands of justice raised in the crowd. Cheng Xiaoyu broke the silence. This scared everyone silly. Kaosung Jinwu, who was worried for a long time, was on fire. Xiaoqing, what are you thinking about? You, an E-level hunter, want to go to the first-level dungeon area. Any monster can easily kill you. You still have a bright future. Not worth the risk for that little money. Cheng Xiaoyu doesn't think so. Although he is a porter, but you can go directly to the front line to observe and learn. Such a good opportunity. Can't miss it. Captain Sun Chijuan saw a man volunteering as a hunter. Naturally, there is no need to think about childhood. And it's not like Gao Fu is going to work part-time. He still has the confidence to stay safe. That's all. Cheng Xiaoyu successfully became the banner of the attack team, carrying a big bag of luggage. It's like being in a bubble. Cheng Xiaoyu discovered this teleportation. The long fire dress is even bigger than the one yesterday. Sun Chijuan told me. Don't worry. Although this teleportation port is larger than yesterday's, but the magic value is not as high as yesterday. If it is a dangerous portal, we won't let them, the second-tier attacking team, attack them either. Hunter Division's second-line attack team. Except there are no S-class hunters in the team. The combat effectiveness is actually not much different. The hunters in the team are all top-notch in the guild. 11 immediately plus 6 B levels. If you are in another guild, that's definitely the main team. There is a lucky hunter Sun Chijuan who takes the lead. This powerful team slowly walked into the underground city. Although the flow of magic power in this portal is indeed less than the next day. I don't know why. Cheng Xiaoyu's ominous premonition appeared again. Just like when I was standing in front of the red portal. Cheng Xiaoyu hopes that he just thinks too much. Even if something goes wrong. With so many high-level hunters here, nothing will happen to them. The moment you enter, the system prompts that you have entered the dungeon. Entering the portal is a huge cave. The first-level wet nurse walking aside said to Cheng Xiaoyu, "You don't need to be too nervous. The captain and the hunters here are very powerful. We will protect your safety. Here with them." When the magician is attacked, It is the human shield's responsibility. When the healer is attacked. Attack team responsibilities. Guild's responsibility when porters are attacked. So as long as the attacking team is with Cheng Xiaoyu, nothing will happen. Heard this. Cheng Xiaoyu suddenly roared in his heart. In the dungeon where the jungle prevails, strength is the only way to protect yourself. A normal attack team would not care if the crane's rear end is dead. But this team helps each other. And also interact. Sun Chijuan took a deep breath. This is the first time he has served as captain since joining the Hunter Division. If this team battle is successful, he will be officially appointed as the captain of the Imperial Strike Force. Although he is not as good as the leader Cui Zhongying and the deputy leader of the car accident, but among level 1 hunters, he is considered a top-notch being. He said to himself, this mission must not fail. At this time, there was a rush of footsteps in the cave. The voices small, but they were quickly noticed by the attack team. They quickly made a team gesture. Walking scene. Cheng Xiaoyu was eye-opening. This is what the emergency attack team did without any instructions. Enter the state immediately. The sound coming from the passage is getting louder and louder. At that moment, the captain was stunned. What's going on? What is going on? Why do jackals appear in A-level dungeons? This kind of monster usually hunts in groups. Face an enemy stronger than yourself. They are also fearless. Enemies swarmed one after another. But in the face of absolute power, Jackal doesn't have any advantage. Then they were wiped out by an experienced strategy team. They feel very comfortable. I, Jackal, am a monster in a C-level dungeon. Logically speaking, it won't appear in A-level dungeons. They can only be considered the bottom of the food chain here. There is almost no prey they can take. No food. They can't survive here. Cheng Xiaoyu noticed a red collar around the jackal's neck. They are not ordinary jackals, but domesticated. It's equivalent to being used as a hunting dog. Those who can do this are intelligent monsters. Intelligent monster. No matter which kind. All extremely difficult to deal with. Cheng Xiaoyu. Suddenly he felt that his bad premonition was about to come true again. The real monster is coming. The moment he walked out, the captain turned pale with fear. Oh my God. This is a giant monster. How could a giant monster appear in a place like this? And this number is still very small. But the monster roared loudly and raised the spear in his hand. Throw it out violently. The spear flew towards the hunter at lightning speed. The captain hurriedly raised his shield. Block the spear. After hitting the shield, there was a loud clang as the bullet hit the hole. Although the shield resists spear attacks, but a long and narrow crack appeared. This power is so terrifying. Before he could recover, a monster with an axe has rushed in front of him, swinging his axe at the captain. They started shooting hunter meat shields without saying a word. Activate taunting skills. The monster's eyes opened. Unlocked provocation record. Stepping on the human shield, he rushed straight towards the magician behind him. And the mage is not a vegetarian either. He raised the lamp in his hand. Several fires shot out continuously from inside. Hit them all on the monster's chest. But the magic resistance of Warcraft is too high. Didn't cause any harm to the monsters. Continued to pounce on the caster. But soon it was occupied by the purple magic air conditioner. Another magician is struggling as a master. But the enemy is too strong. He can only stay still for 5 seconds. But that's enough for a male magician. He holds the magic lamp high. A magic circle appeared in front of him. He shouted the summons. Answer my call, horse. Cut off the enemy's head. A warrior covered in flames walked out of the magic circle. The strength is comparable to that of an extreme hunter. He can only summon such a warrior for 2 days at most. This is his last trump card. Once 2 are summoned, he can't use other magic. And now the bullet on the field continues to take damage. His mana is draining quickly. Once the mana is too low, he can't summon a second warrior. The situation of others is not too optimistic either. The soldier was hit in the shoulder by a monster. The wet nurse quickly activates the skills and sends them to Switzerland. He shouted anxiously, "Where's the meat shield? Quickly hold the line of defense behind you." The human shield itself cannot be protected. The provocation skills he used have no effect on Warcraft. Instead, I was hit by the performance of the opposite monster. The captain shouted anxiously to the team members. We don't have enough people. If surrounded, hostile to us, spread out in groups of 3. He felt strange. Even if it is a first-level teleportation port, 22 giant orcs is too many. This is far beyond the combat capability of an A-level dungeon. And these giant orcs are not ordinary orcs. They have wisdom, ranked lowest among orcs and monsters, also above average. A giant orc is equivalent to an extreme hunter, and there were 22 of them present, equivalent to 22 level hunters. They have the advantage in numbers, and they accept Cheng Xiaoyu. There are only 17 hunters. 6 of them are B-level hunters. No match for Warcraft at all. Although A-level hunters are better than Warcraft. But that's only one-on-one. Once all B-level hunters are killed, the situation is very bad. They have prepared for the worst. Sacrifice is inevitable. Just try your best to survive. Avoid annihilation. Another soldier was stabbed. The whole arm was chopped off. The mage rushes out. Stand in front of the wounded warrior. The magic wand buzzes in my hand. Release a giant snake to wrap around the monster. Take advantage of the time when the monster is trapped. The wet nurse hurriedly treated the soldier who lost his arm. A ball of green energy is moving from his broken arm. Slowly gather into the shape of a hand. A moment later, the soldier's flashlight was successfully worn out. But then a shadow covered her weak body. He looked up. The monster looked directly at him. It's not good for the female mage to look back in a hurry. That guy broke free from the monster. He raised his big axe and struck at the wet nurse. At the critical moment, Cheng Xiaoyu dropped his equipment back. Activate stealth skills. Nanny is a little strange. Why haven't you cut it down yet? He timidly opened his eyes and took a look. The monster that was about to kill him was floating in midair. Both hands kept holding the fox. A painful roar came from the mouth. Under his gaze, the monster is torn apart, slamming to the ground. He was stunned. What just happened? They are the top dungeon rating team. Should have been invincible in the dungeon. But the enemy in front of them put them in trouble. 22 high-level orcs beat them back steadily. If nothing unexpected happens, they will soon be destroyed here. When the axe is about to hit the wet nurse, the monster was choked by an invisible force. Tear apart in front of wet nurse. The monster that had a fierce fight with the captain suddenly became full of flaws. Got hit in the head by the captain. Take away the head directly. Not only that, the Warcraft warriors who originally had the advantage seemed to have lost their fighting ability. Become a rookie. The captain looked in front of him in disbelief. Why did it suddenly become so clear? And they don't know. The important joints of every monster. They were all secretly crossed by a mysterious force. Cheng Xiaoyu turns on invisibility, sneaking in front of the monster. He wants to be as hidden as possible. Weaken monster. It won't arouse the hunter's suspicion, but the sensitive orcs still discovered it. They all headed in the direction of Cheng Xiao and hidden. Saw the ruse exposed. Cheng Xiaoyu simply inserted the short knife into the enemy's vitals. Behind him, Ariaki, a melee hunter, saw that the monster's back was facing him and had an opportunity to take advantage of him. He rushed up and punched the orc hard on the back. Successfully stole the head. Cheng Xiaoyu looked at the blood on his hand. What a trouble. Cheng Xiaoyu. I originally planned to come in just to observe how advanced hunters fight. Don't interfere in their fight. The hunters in this team are all elites from top guilds. It's not that Cheng Xiaoyu doesn't believe in their strength. It's just that the strength of the giant orcs cannot be underestimated. If he doesn't take action again, this team is likely to be wiped out. Although he can easily kill these orcs by himself, but this would arouse unnecessary suspicion. So secretly helping is the best way. With Cheng Xiaoyu's secret help, the battle will be over soon. All 22 orcs present were killed. They feel incredible. Unexpectedly, he won the battle. Moreover, among the 17 hunters present, not a single injured hunter was injured. There is an episode where the wet nurse is going dark. They are all discussing. This time it was a disaster. One of the team members looked at Cheng Xiaoyu seductively. Others can't see it. But the magicians in the team are not blind. Just invisible in front of them. It can still be easily seen through. But because Cheng Xiaoyu secretly helped them, step on him to hide your identity. There must be a reason. Since the motive is not bad, there's no need to expose him. Now they need to make a tough decision. Should we continue the strategy or go out and report the situation inside to the leader? There was a lot of discussion in the team. They were all still frightened by the battle just now. As soon as I entered, I encountered such a powerful orc army. I don't know what kind of horror there will be inside. Tank proposed to the captain. With the current team, we need a strategy. It's really too dangerous here. It's better to go out first and then bring a few people in to help. Fortunately, the leader of the strategy team is very unwilling to do so. This is his chance to become the official captain. If you do it this time, you may never have the chance again. But it was just a fluke that I survived. He can't joke with the lives of the whole team. After weighing it again and again, he said to everyone, "Let's get out first." Teammates breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, the captain knew that they had tidied up, then started walking back. When you reached the teleportation port, everyone was shocked. I don't know when the portal was filled with barriers, and it's made with advanced magic. But fortunately, the magicians can break this barrier. It just takes some time. Female Dharma has lingering fears. Fortunately, I have to go back. There are actually monsters that can use such advanced magic. This is not a level they can conquer at all. Suddenly, a powerful wave of magic power struck everyone. How could it emit such a powerful wave at such a long distance? It seems that this monster has quite a lot of background. The magicians hurriedly grasped the movements of their hands. But this barrier is not small. The maximum power output of 3 magicians could not be solved for a while. Suddenly their pupils were covered with blue hairs, blood flowing from eyes. Then he started vomiting blood in his mouth. The severe pain radiating from their bodies forced them to stop what they were doing. They were cursed. The other hunters are fine. Only the mage was attacked. Teammates want to use holy magic healing to evolve them. And then a scarlet breath floated from behind them. Looking back, countless eyes stared straight at him in the darkness. They are the top dungeon raiding team. But he was almost destroyed by the orc army. They were lucky enough to survive and were ready to leave this hellish place, but found that the portal was shot. The high-level magic barrier appeared behind them with countless pairs of red eyes. The 22 orcs just now beat them to the point where they were completely helpless, and the current number can make each of them die hundreds of times. An orc walked up to the captain. The tall and strong body is in sharp contrast to the captain. His face is getting closer and closer, staring directly at the captain. The captain was stared at so that he did not dare to move. I can only let the cold sweat flow on my cheeks. Teammates want to step forward to help, but he stopped him. He knows very well. Fight them now. No chance of winning. We can only stand still for now, waiting for opportunity. The hands behind him trembled, and he cried. I thought it would be nice if there was a leader or deputy leader at this time. What a bad start. The monster opened his huge mouth, like a boss scolding an employee. He clucked and stood towards the captain, and the orc army behind them also followed suit. Suddenly his pupils changed. The expression begins to distort. From his mouth came the language of this world. Human, I am Carter Kaka. I want to see you human hunters stunned. Orcs can actually speak human language. Is this magic too? But Nfa saw that this was just a puppet. Talking guy. Not him. The captain asked the puppet Kalakaka. Were you hiding at the entrance of the cave? Yes, I am a proud orc wizard. You humans can't stand up to my magic. The captain asked, Is there anyone more dangerous than you in this cave? There is no soul here. It's my opponent's choice, right? Killed by my soldiers. It's better to follow my soldiers here. Teammates are behind, but it's a trap. Don't go. Why don't we just fight them here? After the captain thought for a moment, grit your teeth, decided to go and have a meeting. The puppet behind the scenes turned to everyone and said, The human Cheng Xiaoyu who followed me was very puzzled. There are more than just bags in the ultimate explosion room. There's definitely more drama. The probability of orcs is even smaller. What is Captain doing? Do we need to negotiate with the ultimate boss? Bleeding to stay alive. And the captain has no other choice. He has prepared for the worst. He told Cheng Xiaoyu, if you encounter the ultimate boss, we will attack him. No matter what, we must crack the magic technique in the teleportation port. When we attract attention, you take the opportunity to escape. Contact the main attack team. Cheng Xiaoyu didn't answer the question. Even if I could get out and find support, I'm afraid all those from the year before last will be dead before the next attack team arrives. The captain told him, our goal is not to come out of the dungeon alive. Instead, close the portal. It's precisely because of this that so many people pay me to be a wet nurse. Hand Cheng Xiaoyu a little treasure. Tell Cheng Xiaoyu, these are my last words. If you can escape successfully, just help me pass it on to my family. We'll do what we need to do with what we need during this time. But you are different. You must live. Get out of here. Cheng Xiaoyu accepted the nanny's suicide note, but he doesn't intend to forward it. Although the magic wave emitted by this final boss is very strong, but it hasn't scared Cheng Xiaoyu yet. It's not certain who will survive to the end. The car outside the teleportation port will come to the scene dressed in casual clothes. He looked around, but no sign of Cheng Jinyu was found. Learned from the mouth of the mine manager, Cheng Xiaoyu became a porter for the attack team, but it made him very puzzled. A level 1 hunter becomes a porter in the Arctic dungeon. Is he not afraid of death? This immediately aggravated Che Hui's suspicion of him. He is more sure. Yesterday, Cheng Xiaoyu appeared in that room with a purpose. Also took weapons. He planned to go inside to see what this person wanted to do. At that moment he was confused. Today is a day off. Didn't bring any equipment or weapons. He borrowed equipment from the mine manager. The mine manager happily called people to get it. Then he borrowed a hoe. He asked the mine manager if he had any other weapons. Sword or spear or something like that. The mine manager scratched his head in embarrassment. This is the only lethal thing in their mining team. Doesn't feel like much use. The car club has returned the pickaxe. Then go to the teleportation port. The mine manager asked him, are you sure you want to go in empty-handed? This question stunned him. After hesitating for a moment, he turned around. Hold the rail in the hands of the mine manager. After thanking the mine manager, he hurriedly ran towards the teleportation boss with small steps. Room. Zhuo Qinglong. Right White Tiger. Spacious and magnificent building. Densely packed. Countless orcs. Also located in the center. The great orc wizard sitting high on the throne. It's him who talks to the captain through the puppet. But now there is no need for puppets. He looked at everyone and said that the people in this world, humanity welcomes you. They are the top team in the dungeon. But he was tortured to pieces by the orc warriors who suddenly appeared. Want to escape from here. But they found that the teleportation port was blocked by the orc wizard. The great wizard gives the captain two choices. Either he will die here due to his army of orcs. Either take his people to see him. The captain knew that there was a bad chance of going there. But he had no choice. Even if it means burying the whole team. We also want Cheng Xiaoyu to get out alive. They came to the great wizard's room. I found that this place was crowded with an army of orcs. The captain was sweating coldly. If so many giant orcs escape, there will be devastating disasters outside. So even if you sacrifice all teams, we must also kill the great wizard. But the situation is sooner than imagined. Beside the great wizard stood four majestic guards. The great wizard must be killed before the guards notice. Teammates are ready. As long as the captain gives the order, everyone sets fire. The great wizard puts his hands on his face. Take off his mask, revealing a face with green face and fangs. He stared at the crowd and asked, "Are you afraid of me?" A powerful human pressure emanates from her body. Everyone stopped beating at that moment. Come to your senses. Already turned pale. There is only fear and despair in my eyes. Oh my God, such a terrifying demon. We have to fight monsters like this. The mage was even hit by dimensionality reduction. In front of that kind of monster, he is a third-rate magician. The captain was shaking all over. He asked the great wizard, "Why are we here trying to kill us? Those soldiers outside are enough." The great wizard told him, "To add to the fun, in the remaining time, I will kill every one of you." Heard this, the joyful cheers of the orc army. But a strange guy sneaked into the door. The captain's face turned pale to cheer up. "For them, we can't even be called rivals. It's just a tool for fun. It's the toy they use to trample life wantonly." He could no longer hold back his anger and roared, "Just give it to me now." But he didn't expect that his teammates were already numb. Fear has taken over their whole bodies. They started, "I don't want the air here anymore." They saw that none of their teammates came up to help. The captain gritted his teeth and rushed forward with concern. Seeing the captain rushing toward him, the great wizard didn't feel nervous at all. "Recite the spell softly." Song of Guardian. A powerful magic circle appeared in front of him. Then a huge ice shield blocked the captain's face. The captain's sword struck the ice shield. The whole person was ejected, fell heavily to the ground. Before he could stand firm, an anti-gravity magic was thrown on him. The great wizard raised his hand. The captain floats in the air like a feather. The great wizard lowers his hand. Gravity acceleration. The captain landed on the iron ball. Hit the ground hard. Another hit of dense gravity. The captain's body began to swell again. His body, like a spring ball. One day, there will be heaven and earth. Teammates cried when they saw it, watching the captain being ravaged by the great wizard. Captain floating in midair. A dark shadow flashes. The great wizard hasn't seen clearly yet. Then I found out that the captain had been killed by that strange guy. The captain lying on the ground was bleeding from his bones. Dying. Cheng Xiaoyu told the captain, "This is the underground city of Hunter Temple. I shouldn't have intervened. But now the attack team is facing the crisis of annihilation. I only ask you one question. Can I kill the monsters here?" At this time, an ignorant orc raised a big axe. "Wanna sneak attack Cheng Xiaoyu?" Cheng Xiao didn't even look back. "Stretch out your hand and look back." The monster is held in midair by this force. Then he also tasted the taste of heaven and earth. Cheng Xiaoyu asked the captain again, "Can you give me all the monsters here?" The captain's eyes were filled with disbelief. Then he cast a trusting look at Cheng Xiaoyu. "Please." The great wizard smiled. "How dare a mere human to hack my moves? Let's see how long you can hold on." A powerful aura is released from his body. Cheng Xiaoyu can feel that this aura is very strong. It's much stronger than what I've encountered before. But so what? As the Shadow Lord, he doesn't panic at all. "Come out. Shadows." Ygritte Black Knight King Ein, and Xiong Da and all the Shadow Warriors. How frightened is this? It can make them, who are usually fearless, stand there numbly waiting to die. Cheng Xiaoyu really can't stand it. He rescued the captain who was being ravaged, and summoned his shadow army in full view of everyone. Outside the teleportation port, a big Mercedes was parked nearby. "Get out of the car." The results of the secondary identification are out. Cheng Xiaoyu is already a veritable S-class hunter. His every move will be monitored by the association. As for Cheng Xiaoyu going to work as a miner, arouse the suspicion of the association. Tell the mine manager directly why he came here. The mine manager was puzzled. Why are so many people looking for him today? Suddenly I felt so angry. Said, cursingly, "I just said there's something wrong with that brat. The way you looked at me last time. Feel like killing me." It turns out he was pretending to be a miner, so he could kill people. Learned from the mouth of the mine manager. Cheng Xiaoyu has entered the teleportation port, and before he had a car accident, a hunter also came looking for him. He had a bad feeling. Something always happens around this person. They walked towards the teleportation port. Near the portal. At that moment he froze. My eyes were shattered. He looked unusually serious. What's going on? How come there is such a dangerous smell? Withdrew in a hurry. Body feels very heavy. Just that moment. It's like their bodies are being torn apart. They took out the magic meter and measured the magic value. Explode directly. This portal has reached its highest level in one episode. The previous magic power measurement was wrong. If the guild goes by their previous magic power measurement results, then they are probably in danger now. Although there are 2 S-class hunters inside, nothing big should happen. But to be on the safe side, people from the association still need to go in and take a look. The car entering the teleportation port. You will see orc corpses all over the ground. He feels very reliable. Sun Chijuan will definitely not be able to defeat such a high-level monster. Suddenly a strong breath came to my face. Get him away in no time. He threw down his hat. Tie up hair. Holding a pickaxe. Exudes a golden atmosphere. Get ready to fight. If the ultimate party has such magic power, go to the rescue later. I can only help Chijuan's team clean up the cave. On one side of the room is Cheng Jinyu's women's army. On one side is the orc army of the Great Wizard. The Great Wizard smiled. You dare to fight me with just these few soldiers? Cheng Xiaoyu also laughed. Say to the Great Wizard, if you underestimate my soldiers. But it's very dangerous. At his feet, a dark breath arises spontaneously. Soon it spread to the entire hall. Form a dark realm. The ability values of shadow warriors in the field are increased by 50%. This is after Cheng Xiaoyu reached level 70 in Demon Realm. Acquired professional skills. This skill. All of a sudden, the combat effectiveness of the shadow soldiers increased by half. The hunter mage on the side was stunned. What is going on? Why does he have such a powerful force? Incredible. Even if I try my best, only 2 summoned beasts can be summoned. And this man waved his hand casually. There are dozens of great wizards. Give an order. The orc warriors roared and attacked. King Ein activates skill provocation. But because the opponent's monster level is too high, cannot be provoked. He was angry. This is the first time in my life that I have received such humiliation. He brandished his big axe and charged into the orc army. Massacre in all directions. Compared with Aaron Yeglet, he showed his level. His body stands upright and dignified. A powerful purple aura exudes from his body. When the orcs reached him, he just waved his hand gently. Then kill all the monsters around. But other shadows didn't go so smoothly. Although there is blessing from the dark realm, but the strength is only equivalent to a B-level hunter. Destroyed and reborn 3 or 4 times. Just subdued a giant orc. Moreover, the number of soldiers is more than 3 times that of the enemy. Their number must be reduced as much as possible. Cheng Xiao and his eyes turned. Rush forward sharply. It's a huge output against World of Warcraft. Where he passed, the monsters fell down in unison. The hunter on the side was sweating coldly. This skill is as calm as a hunter who knows how to drive a car. Suddenly behind Cheng Xiaoyu, a huge mushroom cloud hit Yi Being. He wiped out all his shadow minions with one move. Cheng Xiaoyu turned around and took a look. The magic camp in front of the Great Wizard sticks out a giant dragon head. There is a burning flame in the mouth. The Great Wizard mocked the same as Cheng Xiao. They're just weak scarecrows. What's there to be arrogant about? But Cheng Xiaoyu didn't panic at all. As long as there is magic, his shadow can be reborn infinitely. The Great Wizard smiled. Even if the shadow can be reborn. But the magic is not enough. Once the magic power is exhausted, all shadow warriors will disappear. And his soldiers can accelerate the consumption of Cheng Xiaoli's magic power. Cheng Xiaoyu jumped up. Say to the Great Wizard, you were dead before this happened. But this blow hit the mage's ice shield. Even Cheng Xiaoyu's strength cannot be broken at all. He holds his fist. Another song of intense fire. Suddenly there were sparks in the hall. Blow up all the reborn shadows. Not only does this guy have extremely high defense, the power of the spell is also very strong. There are also countless orc subordinates. It seems that a fierce battle is inevitable, but it's different from job transfer missions. Here Cheng Xiaoyu can use potions. In other words, he has infinite magic power. He took the potion in his hand and threw the bottle away. From now on, he is still a real necromancer. Stand up. A bright red hand stretched out from the corpse of the monster. After a while, a red flying shadow is regenerated. Orc Warrior. The Orc Warrior was stunned. Comrades who once fought have now become enemies. And the Great Wizard's men are not dead. Cheng Xiao no longer has the fighting power over there. Cheng Xiao and the Great Wizard of Fingers. And finally you. The Great Wizard looked at Cheng Xiaoyu in horror. Are you the Great Wizard of our army? Not only do you have superb magic power, he also has thousands of troops. But these advantages disappeared in front of this man. The man in front of me is not only highly skilled in martial arts, a shadow with infinite rebirth. The warrior can also turn her dead orc minions into shadows. The most excessive thing is, he also has infinite little blue bottles. If this goes on, his men will only grow in number. It feels like quantity is meaningless here. Quality is the key to deciding this battle. He stood up from his chair. Throw your arms out. Kill them. Bring the body back. Whoosh. The guard beside him flew out like bullets. Cheng Xiao and CMA Xiao. Let's start dispatching generals, right? Alan glanced at powerful enemy. It made his heart boil. Swinging his great axe to meet the enemy, the weapons clashed. There was a huge clang sound. Alan doesn't even notice. Use your hands to press the enemy's weapon to the ground, and then hit the guard's head with his head. Click. Cracked helmet. The monsters were stunned. Then he was hit on the ground by Alan with an axe. Ended life. On Ygritte's side were a dozen guards with long swords, and a guard in wolf skin to attack him. He looked calmly and raised his sword. Blocked a group of guards. Then hold the sword hilt tightly. Put the sword in the ground. The whole person flies into the air. Stretch your hands to your waist. Hold the dagger. Pulled out the short knife. Plunge one into the head of a guard wearing wolf skin. Then step on his body. Pulled out the long sword stuck in the ground. The result of blocking the water moon. Then he bounced the weapon and struck it on the orc. Orcs take a few steps. Stay away with a strong body. But he doesn't know. I did not know when he appeared behind him. The big axe in my hand is already hungry and thirsty. Although the orc general blocked Alan's fatal blow, but the powerful force still caused the weapon in his hand to fly away. Behind him, a bear paw bigger than his body is waiting for an opportunity. Big bear with roar. Like swatting bugs. Put your hands on the ground and rub them. Cheng Xiaoyu was very proud. It seems that his shadow step general is even more powerful. The great wizard was dumbfounded. This is impossible. How could this happen? Other hunters saw Xiangyu as having an advantage. Suddenly I regained some courage. A warrior calls to the crowd. Don't do it. Look at us and talk too. Just finished. They bleed from their 7 orifices. He was struck by several curse spells. Song of Fire Phoenix. Heat Song. Song of the Angry King. The great wizard looked disdainful. Give them a swarm of ants to catch up to. Let me take a good look down there. How can I make the hope in your hearts so strong? I want you to never be arrogant in front of me again. Song of the Water Demon. Song of Animation. Song of Blindness. Bang bang bang. Several curse spells hit Cheng Xiaoyu. The great wizard looked proud. So many curses. Even God can't bear it. But the next second he was stunned. The curse had no effect on Cheng Xiaoyu. As soon as it hit him, it was instantly released. This is Cheng Xiaoyu's passive skill. Great Wizard Candy's notes in medicine. Generates power against all diseases, poisons, and various abnormal conditions. Cheng Xiaoyu swept away the curse on her body like dust. Then summoned the Shadow Magician. Give him a greedy spider. The magician with the Pearl of Greed. Fireball pops up easily. Throw it towards the Archmage's position. Powerful power. Blast the ice shield to pieces. He also hit the magician hiding behind the ice shield. He squatted on the ground and roared in pain. Eyes full of disbelief. Just a magic minion. How could it be so powerful? At this time, a figure appeared in the doorway, holding a pickaxe. He was stunned. Participated in advanced dungeon roads so many times. This is the first time I have seen this kind of scene. So shocking. Are these all Cheng Xiaoyu's summon beasts? Even the magic series where the stunt is summoning magic. People can only summon 1 or 2. How did he manage to summon so many at once? He comes to his teammates. Ask everyone how things are going. And what's going on here? But my teammates can't tell clearly. I only know that it was gods fighting. They only deserve to be spectators. The great wizard roared angrily. This little trick doesn't work for me. A powerful purple aura is released from his body. A dark purple magic circle floated in front of him. He summoned multiple strengthening magic spells in succession. Song of Anger, Song of Strengthening, Song of Giants, Song of Hard Work. Suddenly he turned into a tall giant. Cheng Xiaoyu looked very small in front of him. She's like stepping on ants. Color the shadow warriors one by one. Cheng Xiaoyu's magic power was quickly trampled to the ground. But Cheng Xiaoyu didn't panic at all. Even a little angry. Seeing giants brings back bad memories for him. A giant dragon with an open mouth appeared from behind the great wizard. The great wizard blew his feet like a bubble. Then a huge flame burst out from his mouth. But he didn't expect. Cheng Xiaoyu flew above his head at some unknown time. The dagger slowly appeared in his hand, poked directly into the distance of the great wizard. Cheng Xiao and the great wizard who laughed mercilessly. You don't know how big your body is. Is the goal bigger? As a magician, you missing guards. As crisp as an egg without the shell. After speaking, with lightning speed, inflict multiple fatal wounds on the great wizard. The great wizard screamed in pain as he was scratched. This arrogant wizard never expected the ice shield that I am proud of. The shadow magician summoned by Cheng Xiaoyu. A big fireball smashed it. He also suffered internal injuries after hiding behind the ice. In desperation, he added multiple buffs to himself. Transform yourself into a huge and powerful monster. But for Cheng Xiaoyu, it's just that the target has gotten bigger, just easier to hit. This scene, they were dumbfounded. What are these things? Why are you being beaten by others? The person who got there first went back to the car and told him. These are the soldiers summoned by Cheng Xiaoyu. And that person is busy challenging the king. At this time, Cheng Xiaoyu was in dire straits, completely unaware of what's going on around me. He thought that a short sword could not inflict fatal wounds on such a big man. He skillfully put away his weapon. Clench your fist and punch the great wizard 999. Sure enough, you still have to rely on your fists at critical moments. The great wizard was shaved many times. They're all just skin injuries. However, he was staggered by Cheng Zhao's punch. Kneel down on the ground. Finally seeing Cheng Jinyu's combat vehicle with his own eyes made me excited. Why isn't Boss Chui the only one who knows? Feel the extremely strong magic wave from the outside. Make him feel uneasy. But now it seems that this is no longer necessary. I can actually see Cheng Xiao and the hunter. The scene of conquering an A-level dungeon alone. But when he was puzzled, Cheng Xiaoyu, no matter how you look at it, they are all the top fighting series. But he can use summoning magic, and it can summon the justice vehicle at once. Who is he? How much do you know about him? A sigh. I know very little. Very little. The great wizard lies on the ground, staring at Cheng Xiao fiercely. Cheng Xiaoyu told him, for magicians, the moment I lost my guard, you have already lost. Behind Cheng Xiaoyu stood the three most proud guards of the great wizard. The great wizard looked at the prince. My heart is full of unwillingness. Roaring loudly, I won't fall. Then different screams were made. His favorite guard thrust his weapon into his body. Purple blood flows through him. System prompt. The owner of the dungeon has been eliminated. Level up. Level up. After the great wizard dies, the remaining giant orcs were quickly dealt with. Falling next to the great wizard. Falling sparkling battle. Just as Cheng Xiaoyu was thinking about it, he suddenly remembered. This is the underground city of Hunter Temple, and whoever needs something urgent will take it away directly. The trophies don't seem to be in place. But this is okay. He put his hand on the corpse of the great wizard. Stand up. Swish, swish, swish. A powerful dark aura emanates from the corpse of the great wizard. He opened his mouth and roared loudly. Then in front of all the hunters, a huge shadow. The great wizard was born and solemnly knelt in front of Cheng Xiaoyu. Cheng Xiaoyu's proud smile. finally extracted a high-level shadow magician. It is worth mentioning that the shadow infantry extracted before is of normal level. Magic soldiers are elite level. Ygritte is a knight, and the level of this great wizard is still above that of Yeglet. He is an elite knight level, worthy of being the boss of an A-level dungeon. Multiple shadow system prompts. Please name your soldiers. Cheng Xiaoyu is thoughtful. The boss just said what was his name? Forget it if I can't remember it. Pick whatever you want. It looks like your teeth are quite long. Just call you Fong. Cheng Xiao and Cheng Xiao gained huge rewards from this battle. Got so many high-level orc warriors. And it has been upgraded many levels. Now he can save 12.7 billion. He sends the less powerful shadow back to the void world. Then save all the stronger ones. Seeing Cheng Xiaoyu finished her work, Cheng Xiaoyu turned around and looked. Everyone was dumbfounded for a moment. I was so focused on fighting monsters that I didn't realize there were so many people here. Other undocumented persons. The scene suddenly fell into embarrassment. Everyone is waiting for the man who singled out the entire underground to explain. And Cheng Xiao, how do you want to get out of here? A group of people from the association stood in front of Cheng Xiaoyu. Cheng Xiao and Hunter's identity information. It is the sole responsibility of our Hunters Association. It's still a high-level secret that must never be leaked. Waiting to exit the teleportation port. We will tell you detailed confidentiality matters. I hope you won't leak everything you saw today. Two subordinates quietly told Cheng Xiaoyu. Leave the hunters to us. If you want to avoid unnecessary, this is the best way. Just now, Cheng Xiaoyu had the most abundant funds in the country. In front of the guild with the most hunters. Demonstrated abilities beyond S-class hunters. If there are any questions, you can contact the association. Before that, I will help everyone get out of here safely. Then the captain shouted, I'll have some treatment from a wet nurse later. Her injuries have healed a lot, but he still needs support from his teammates. He told Cheng Xiaoyu, your power is so strong. Come for whatever reason. The other party can understand. I won't ask you either. But this time, thanks to you. Only then can we be safe. I attack on behalf of all. The sensual hunters bowed solemnly to Cheng Xiaoyu. Cheng Xiaoyu returns the suicide note to the wet nurse. Tell her, since you survived, you will hand this little notebook to them personally. The nanny was stunned. Then I awkwardly held a small notebook in the camp. Car. Hui just wanted to say something. Cheng Xiaoyu and the association hunters have turned and left. Nfa came over. I asked the deputy chief curiously, why are you holding a pickaxe for a while? E.G. Ling asked the female Dharma. Will she think I'm weird? Nfa looked puzzled. Who can drive for a while? The little face smiled awkwardly. Nothing. Nothing. This is the strength of the Shadow Lord. Just one person wiped out an army of tens of thousands of orcs. Still in full view. Make the ultimate boss your younger brother. After finishing, only then did he realize that his every move had been watched by everyone, wondering how to end it. The sensible association hunters protected him as the top secret. In the evening, the rich second generation waited for him in the restaurant as agreed. Looking worried. Today is the time to decide your destiny. The choice of the eldest brother will determine his fate. Cheng Xiaoyu just came out of the underground city. There are still traces of the fight on the clothes. As expected of a big brother. I even took the time to go to the dungeon. Then he told his eldest brother the negotiation process between him and his father. And the sudden appearance of Hunter Gao Mingheng in the middle. Cheng Xiaoyu understood what he meant. If the rich second generation wants to become the leader of the guild, we must have his help. After hesitating for a moment, he said to the rich second generation, in the Hunter 4 building. Cui Zhongyin's face was full of shock. Hunter Sun Chiju and Xiang Cui Zhongying chairman reported their experiences of accidents in the underground city. At first, Cheng Xiaoyu didn't want to interfere in their team fight. But the monsters in that dungeon are too powerful. As a last resort, Cheng Xiaoyu just took action. After the White Tiger Guild, Hunter Division also owes Cheng Xiaoyu a favor. After listening to Cheng Xiaoyu's battle, Cui Zhongyin broke into a cold sweat, able to summon a large number of summoned beasts. as agile as someone from the assassination series. You can even use the dead monsters for your own use. Although on the surface, that's all he can do. But if he still has the ability to hide, it seems that he is indeed very powerful. But he was very curious. Who is better than him? Sun Qijuan was stunned by this sudden question. Then he asked Chairman Cui Zhongyi, "Can you conquer A-level dungeons alone?" This question stopped Cui Zhongyi. The hands on the table began to tremble. Then definitely tell Sun Qijuan. Cannot. No matter how powerful he is. It is also difficult to resist the siege of Warcraft. Cui Zhongyi. I suddenly felt that I was not worthy of the title of the ultimate weapon. Sun Qijuan said to the chairman. For the operation of the guild. I shouldn't have interrupted. But you must let Hunter Cheng Xiaoyu join our guild. Cameras in place at the Hunters Association. Reporters are preparing for today's big news. And all of this is preparation for the man in the sports car. Next to her sat a well-known reporter. She asked the man what the news headlines were today. The man read the newspaper. A happy smile on the face. Li Wanqing, the man who has everything. He even has powers beyond human beings. Although a bit naive. But I like it. At this time, 2 luxury cars drove into the crowd. Get out of the car. By Yu Hao and Cui Zhongyi. For a time, all kinds of flashlights focused on the two of them. The reporter thought that these 2 giants came to compete for Li Wanqing. One of the reporters asked Bai Lu Hao, "Please describe Li Wanqing in 1 sentence." Bai Lu Hao looked impatient. "Come back to me without even thinking about it." It's not because he has nothing to say. Cui Zhongyin showed a harmless look. Tell reporters. Li Wanqing has signed a contract with the Envoys Guild. Many people in the industry know that I am coming to the association today. It's because other reporters dispersed in boredom. So happy for nothing. I thought there would be big news today. Bai Lu Hao sneered at Cui Zhongyin, who was standing next to him. I heard. Yesterday, your hunter division almost had a big accident. Facing Bai Lu Hao's ridicule, Cui Zhongyin responded calmly. Yes. But it's a little better than the White Tiger Gongkai, which lost its A-level trust. These words immediately filled Bai Lu Hao's face with anger. Both of these guilds were affected by the appearance of Cheng Xiaoyu. This greatly reduced the losses. So the purpose of their coming is to rob people. The 2 leaders immediately faced each other tit for tat. The surrounding air begins to become distorted. Isn't this Boss Chui and Boss Bai? The appearance of Lin Zigui, the leader of the Envoys Guild, interrupted their quarrel. He looked triumphant. Thought the 2 were quarreling over his subordinate Li Wanqing. The 2 bosses suddenly yelled in unison. What a say? What do you care about him? Li Wanqing. I have no interest in forcing Boss Lin to Ho Ming. Why such a big reaction? And witnessed everything from a distance. But Li Wanqing, who didn't hear the content, couldn't help feeling happy. 2 top domestic giants actually competed for him. Noisy and blushing. The driver turned around and told Li Wanqing, "Everything is ready outside. Let's start the interview." Li Wanqing got out of the car. Suddenly reporters swarmed up. The camera flashes were focused on him. Behind the reporter stood a confused Cheng Xiaoyu. What's going on today? So many reporters. This guy is so high profile. To show off one's strength to the masses. Called a large number of reporters to make a fuss about him. What a coincidence. Today is the day for Cheng Xiaoyu's 2nd hunter level appraisal. As soon as she arrived, she found that the place was surrounded by reporters. He squeezed out through the crowd, but he was blocked in front of him by a tall bodyguard. He yelled at Cheng Xiaoyu, "What are you doing? Are you from the association? Didn't you see that there are reporters here? Cannot start from the previous process." Xiaoyu said. He wants to go in and do something, but was blocked by bodyguards. Li Wanqing looked impatient. Who is this guy with no eyesight? Why haven't you driven this person away yet? Who says it can't be too high here? The appearance of the established president made the scene suddenly quiet. He looked at Li Wanqing and said, "He is my guest. You should know who it is. Are you allowed to hold a press conference here?" Hindering the rights of the president. Li Wanqing is too embarrassed to say anything. I had no choice but to let Cheng Xiaoyu in. Reporters immediately started talking about, who is that person? The president takes care of him so much. Li Wensheng was so angry that he gritted his teeth. Cheng Xiaoyu's appearance made him very embarrassed. He ordered his bodyguard to find out who this guy was. Then I thought about how to resolve the embarrassing anger now. He decided to skip the rest. Go directly to today's topic test level. He showed a harmless expression. Tell reporters. Wait a moment, everyone. I'm going to discuss today's process with the association staff. But I haven't walked in the door yet. Several figures were as fast as lightning. Now in front of him. Block the door tightly. There are other awakened people currently undergoing secondary level assessment. Before 11 o'clock. No one is allowed in. Li Wensheng was dumbfounded. He checked the time. 10:30 minutes. He is anxious. He actually made me wait for 30 minutes for that person. I also made an appointment for the level test at 11 o'clock. Now the reporters are here. Don't embarrass me. Tell him. Since I made an appointment at 11 o'clock. Then 11 o'clock. You don't know me. What is Li Wensheng? Li Yuanhui. But my dad invested a lot of money in the association. Know what to do to me. Did you see those people? Let me make a fool of myself in front of the camera. You can afford this responsibility. Can afford Li Wensheng. Frustrated. Swearing and swearing. Who do you think you are? And is that awakened one amazing? Take off your glasses. He looked at Li Ningqing with a ferocious look. If I tell you, you can afford it. Li Wensheng. Don't dare to push anymore. The president took Cheng Xiaoyu to escape. Bai Luhao and Cui Zhongyi have been inside for a short time. They bowed solemnly to the president. The president told Cheng Xiaoyu, I heard you are coming. These two guys have been waiting here for you for an hour. After all, you are an S-class hunter who only appeared after 2 years. Plus 2 underground city accidents. The extraordinary power finally revealed. Who wouldn't want to recruit such a talent? They came to an empty testing hall. The assistant said to Cheng Xiaoyu, before the second measurement, first determine your capabilities. Only then can we divide the past for you. What abilities can you use? Can I do this? Only the empty floor. A black shadow slowly appeared in the surprised eyes of the president and his assistant. Transform into a shadow infantry. The assistant was deeply shocked by this power. It's actually a summoned beast. Are you a summoner? And the wily president could tell at a glance. This is just the tip of the iceberg for Cheng Xiaoyu. He asked Cheng Xiaoyu to show his true strength. Cheng Xiaoyu looked helpless. After all, there were too many witnesses at that time. Now I can't hide it even if I want to. Come out, everyone. Shadows. Multiple shadows appeared on the empty land. Chairman Gao Jinli stared in disbelief. Even Bai Luhao and Cui Zhongming outside the door felt the magic. What a powerful magic power. At this time, the hall was already occupied by people of all sizes. Warriors of different shapes. Cheng Xiaoyu said to the president, I can summon more than 100 assistants like this warrior. Trembling with fear, Bai Yuhao, who had more than 100 people outside the door, was sweating coldly. What a powerful magic power. Was this all released by Cheng Xiaoyu? Completely different from then. He has surpassed me. Cheng Xiaoyu walked out of the room, looking at the little kabu in my hand. He is already a veritable S-class hunter. Bai Luhao shouted and wanted to talk to him. Cheng Xiaoyu found an excuse to push the blame. Bai Yuhao told him, if I were you, I will never leave like this. Cheng Xiaoyu thought Bai Yuhao had prepared number 7 for him. If leave, I will definitely regret it. Push the door open. At that moment he was dumbfounded. Countless flashlights focused on him. What on earth happened? It can make the most powerful person in this country stunned. Around him stood shadow warriors of various sizes and shapes, equivalent to the combat power of a high-level dungeon. All of these were summoned by Cheng Xiaoyu alone. And Cheng Xiaoyu also naturally obtained the S-Class Hunter Qualification Certificate. Walk out the door. At that moment he was stunned. Countless flashlights focused on him. It turned out to be 10 minutes ago. That superstar guy who can't get into the association. To ease the awkward atmosphere, he just gave a speech. He told reporters, no matter what the result of the identification is, I will continue to dedicate myself to the hunter cause. Heard this? Remember to press the home page of the shutter button to ask for something. Is this true? Li Wanqing says. He may give up the title of Asia's top superstar. Be a low-level hunter. Li Wanqing stretched out his middle two god happily, enjoying the flash. Spotlight is good. That's it. All the focus is on me. He couldn't stop feeling happy. Of course I lied to you. You guys. I already got an A rating. Been a hunter for 2 years. While getting a high annual salary. While helping the Envoys Union to promote. This is the best way to get rid of the doubts about me from the outside world in one go. Come down from the top and risk your life. Protect citizens. I will be so glorious and great in the eyes of others. What S-Class Hunter? Why are you saying it now? I just received a notification from the association. The 10th S-Class Hunter was revealed. Is this true? The sudden information caused the whole scene to boil. Reporters took out their mobile phones to check the official website of the association to see if it was true. The 10th level hunter is born. They suddenly realized. It turns out that the reason for setting aside time for the measurement in the morning was for Captain Lee. But for that S-Class Hunter, their expressions became strangely crazy. But the news about S-Class Hunters cannot be missed. They rushed past Li Wanqing and rushed to the door. The association hunter stopped him. Like an impenetrable wall. Blocked the door tightly. The reporters were left there to rage in incompetence. Isn't it the appearance of an S-Class Hunter? Get out of the way. Li Wanqing is in a vacuum. What the hell? Why did a driver appear today? My reporter, what should I do with my news? And his so-called reporter. We are very busy at the moment. He said to Li Wanqing. We'll contact you later. Then he looked at the other end of the phone. Tomorrow, all news headlines will be changed to a sad episode. Li Wanqing became a joy. No one cares. Even the heir doesn't care about him. On Cheng Xiaoyu's side, the screen is full of flashlights. In an instant, Cheng Xiaoyu became the headline news. News about him reached his sister's school. Sent to the mine. Start again with that rough old man. I knew it was so. When that guy stared at me, I knew something bad must have been exposed. But when he saw what was in the news, for a moment, the whole person froze in place and shivered. News quickly spread throughout the country. Xiaoxi who is eating. I saw an old woman practicing swordsmanship. I saw there were rich second generations. His dad saw it too. He asked the rich second generation, have you found Cheng Xiaoyu? The rich second generation returns to his father. He can't change his brother's mind. Because Cheng Xiaoyu wants to set up a trade union. And as long as the rich second generation is willing, he will leave the position of vice chairman to him. Heard this. The chairman was stunned. Then smile. He asked the rich second generation, do you know why I established a process guild? The rich second generation's answer without thinking. To make money. The hunter's career is filled with violence. The chairman shook his head. I have enough money now. Money is of no use to me. It's to protect ourselves. The power of hunters continues to grow stronger. Today the power of a human being is equivalent to the armed forces of a country. Not a few. Beyond S-Class. The strongest hunters known as the national power level appear on the scene. In some weak countries, I formed the union to recruit trustworthy hunters. And you found someone like this? You are qualified. If the flow is successful, it will be handed over to you. Let's run it well. Turn those trustworthy and powerful hunters into women. In the future, they will be more valuable than any form of property. The rich second generation's answer directly confused the chairman. Thank you, Dad. But I have decided to go to my eldest brother's guild. Facing various questions from various reporters. Bai Luhao has a deep understanding of. He suggested that Cheng Xiaoyu go with her. She will get her home safely. Just finished speaking. Cheng Xiaoyu disappeared with a shio sound. When he shows up again, already behind the crowd, everyone looked back in disbelief. What happened just now? How do people evaporate out of thin air? The final film is a shock in the new year. Have such developed motor nerves. The source is from a magic series person. Do you think it's Bai Luhao? Chairman Bai Luhao is still immersed in that scene. Too fast. I didn't even see clearly. Although I know he is very powerful. but I didn't expect it to be so powerful. His quick speed just now, and what I felt at the inspection site. Cheng Xiaoyu is stronger than us now. This is completely beyond the scope of the Second Awakening. He is a hunter who can keep growing. Country Hospital Huang Dongshu was lying on the bed watching the news, eyes full of disbelief. That kid is still alive. Are you still living a good life? This ball is no ordinary ball. Even experts who have studied equipment for many years saw it for the first time. It actually exists. Magic ball with 100% increase rate. Even the world's top craftsmen put their efforts into making it. Even if you hold on to death, it will only increase by 50%. If Cui Zhongying sees that he is unlovable, he will die. He asked Cheng Xiaoyu, "Where did you get him?" Cheng Xiaoyu replied calmly, "Picked it up in the dungeon." The expert was stunned. You can still find things like this in dungeons. He told Cheng Xiaoyu, "If the auction is held here, we will help you get the highest price." Cheng Xiaoyu said to think about it, then asked the experts, "Is there any fire attribute defensive equipment here?" Look at the expert's expression. Cheng Xiaoyu thought. After all, she searched a lot online and couldn't find it. Unexpectedly, the expert told him, "This thing is easy to find. Just because equipment with attributes is expensive, so it's not sold online." He took Cheng Xiaoyu into a room. There is a dazzling array of equipment on display inside. It's an expensive thing. Also added protective glass. I just don't know if such thin glass can protect it. Facing the glass inside, experts are still very confident. He told Cheng Xiaoyu, "This glass has been strengthened with magic power. Even if an A-level hunter fights with all his strength, if you don't believe it, try it. If you could break a piece, the equipment inside is yours." These words immediately made Cheng Xiaoyu excited. He took a deep breath. Release a powerful force from his body. Raise your fists and get ready to fight. Experts are anxious. He hurriedly stopped Cheng Xiaoyin. He just said it casually. Their auction house signed a conservation agreement with the Hunter Division. If we really destroy the Hunter Division, the elites will come right away. Heard this. Cheng Jinyu's hand almost hit the glass. Almost stopped. Experts are worried. Didn't this person just say that he is a magic hunter? Why are you so aggressive? Cheng Xiaoyu asked the experts, "Are there any weapons here that can be missed?" Experts told him, "There are weapons. There are also dedicated areas." After Cheng Xiaoyu left, the expert took a look. The small eyes in the nest are full of doubts. When did this crack? He obviously hasn't even touched it. Could it be that Cheng Xiaoyu picked a small dagger? Price 180,000. He was surprised. This short sword is not as good as his night killer. At most, it's the level of Kasaka's fangs. The price is so expensive. He took out the night killer. Asked the weapons expert, "How much is this worth?" The expert picked up the dagger and struck carefully, eyes full of appreciation. This dagger contains the meticulous hand of the craftsman. At least 600,000. Heard this price. Cheng Xiaoyu was immediately stunned. This thing can only be sold for 2.8 million gold coins in the store. You can actually sell it at a high price here. And it has a store logo on it. It seems there is no need to sell. Pearl of Greed. White Tiger Guild Building. White number 6 is still thinking about how his effectiveness can continue to grow as a hunter. Do such hunters really exist? The guy in front of the red portal is obviously not here yet. Just a few days. His magic is on me. He leans on the chair. The tense head finally relaxed. Because he finally figured it out. Cheng Xiaoyu is an impossible talent to recruit. Have such a powerful ability. You can open a guild by yourself. How is it possible to enter someone else's guild? What about one of the best guilds in the country? If he can continue to grow, then there is a place where he is. He is the King Choi Jungyang. The chairman and I are wasting our efforts. Cheng Xiaoyu just got the S-Class Hunter license. Became a world celebrity. News from all walks of life rushed to report it. The downstairs of his house was even more surrounded. His sister cautiously poked her head upstairs. All of a sudden, there was an endless stream of clicking sounds downstairs. He was so frightened that he retracted his head. Cheng Xiaoyu is a little impatient. He wanted to go down and drive those people away. My sister stopped me. She told her, "You can't have snow now. You ignored reporters that day. Suddenly disappeared from under their noses. You've been scolded so badly on the internet. You want to be scolded worse when you go down now." At this time there was a knock on the door. My sister hid behind the door as a conditioned reflex. Cheng Xiaoyu couldn't hold it in any longer. "This is all harassment at your door. I have to say something to them." Cheng Xiaoyu opened the door with a curse. But I saw the rich second generation with a crying face. His dad kicked him out. Now he has no fixed abode. Think about it. Cheng Xiaoyu took advantage of this before he finished speaking. The door slammed shut. My sister came out. Curiously, I asked who that person was. Cheng Xiaoyu said with a look of disgust, "Don't know. Door-to-door water check. The entrance to the rich second generation is left on the surface. Big brother, big brother. The rich second generation is so fucking soft-hearted. Asked my husband if this was too cold. And the chairman's son was really crazy at this time. A good guild leader should not be someone else's little brother." Then he felt a twinge in his head. He felt strange. His wife gradually became hazy in his eyes. Falling to his knees with a bang, Cheng Xiaoyu gently opened the door. My sister is sleeping soundly. She summoned shadow warriors. 3 orc guards. The chair came out. Because the body is too big, they can only huddle on the ground. Cheng Xiaoyu suddenly remembered that the great wizard seemed to have 4 great guards. Why are there only 3 of them? One of them pointed at the ceiling and said, "The remaining guard will be thrown away by you." Stuck on cave tube. Cheng Xiaoyu realized it later. He actually left him there. Really ashamed. He sent 2 of the orcs back, leaving the orc in wolf skin to guard his sister, nodding respectfully and pointing fingers. Then he turned into a shadow and hid under the quilt. Then Cheng Xiaoyu came to the top floor of the community, summoned multiple shadow infantry. Command them. From now on, you will be the security of this community. Don't be discovered by others. Proceed with caution. Start patrolling from now on. Brush, brush, brush. The infantryman who received the order turned into a black shadow. Fly fish everywhere. Cheng Xiaoyu sighed. Even if a random murderer appears, as long as it's not in the hands of a senior hunter, can't beat me at all. To your soldiers. Is this considered a contribution to the world? The next day, the rich second generation drove to pick up Xiaoling from the city. Because the union office hasn't been found yet, the rich second generation found a small hotel in Changsha and the surrounding area to stay first. Cheng Xiaoyu never expected. This guy really gave up Lu Chan's position as leader. He likes me so much that I feel embarrassed to scold him. The rich second generation asked you curiously. I like it when I arrive at Dasheng building early in the morning. Cheng Xiaoyu opened the car door. Talk to the rich second generation. I'll come back as soon as I go. The rich second generation still doesn't understand what it means. People are gone. Cheng Xiaoyu came to the demon realm again. There are blazing flames everywhere. But he came prepared this time. The heat-proof cloak obtained from the hunter's meeting and has water properties. Magic nameless ring. This time everything is ready. This is the human condition. The blazing flames of the devil's realm. Demons everywhere. The terrifying army of the living dead. There is also the chilling undead mage, Cheng Xiaoyu. Kill all the way to the 75th floor with one person's power. Go to floor 76. Quartz hot environment. Had to give up the strategy midway. Now he is well prepared. Come back. At this time, the system task pops up again. Get rid of the Demon King. Collect his evil soul reward. Even richer than last time. The top-grade mud and stone alone are quite fragrant. Can acquire career-specific skills. Cheng Xiaoyu now have a total of 3 skills. Extract skills. Save skills and king realms. Every skill is particularly powerful. He is full of expectations for the next skill. System prompt. All floors from the 1st floor to the 76th floor are open. Which level do you want to move to? 76th floor. Swish. Cheng Xiaoyu teleported to the 76th floor. Oncoming were all kinds of birds and beasts. Cheng Xiaoyu summoned the fangs. Even if you don't look carefully, You can't tell that grandma is the monster. The fangs hold the greedy spider buzzing at dawn. With the emergence of the magic circle, a black dragon appeared behind him. He took a deep breath. A huge flame bursts out from the mouth. Destroy all surrounding monsters in an instant. Tall buildings were reduced to the ground in an instant. Cheng Xiaoyu felt powerful. Unexpected shouting. After becoming a shadow soldier, even if there is a greedy spider, the ability will be weakened. But greedy spider is used in different ways. His abilities will also vary. And after the Fong got the greedy spider, even more powerful than when he was alive. This bead is simply equipment prepared for fangs. The process of sleeping in the emergency center for 2 days. I woke up with the help of the chairman. He asked the doctor, "What's wrong with my body?" The doctor told him, "You have a disease called insomnia. This is a kind of sleep that I can't wake up from. Not only can I wake up from my sleep, their vitality will also be consumed at an extremely fast rate. Therefore, a device that uses magic power to maintain life is needed. This disease occurs after the portal appears. Many people die because they cannot afford life-sustaining devices. And the past years have a deep connection with magic." He asked the chairman, "Are there any hunters, or people who are often exposed to magic around you?" The chairman thought for a moment. "Family members exposed to magic for a long time. Isn't that his son?" Doctor told me. "Some people are born with a lack of resistance to magic. If these people are exposed to magic for a long time, abnormal symptoms will occur." The chairman grabbed the quilt hard. The uses of magic are increasing day by day. The number of people with magical powers is also increasing. In such a world, sitting on numerous properties, but just can't deal with magic power. He is very unwilling. I was eliminated. Lu Minghan, was eliminated? I won't lose. I didn't lose. The other side is on an island in Nigua. A giant airship from Jeju Island has successfully landed on land. How scary is the S-class portal? There once was a small island called Chijo Island, because the teleportation port is opened, causing the monsters inside to swarm out. The world calls for top hunters. The strategy failed 3 times. In the end, even the government had to abandon the island. What no one expected was that the island became Darwin's island of evolution. The monsters are transforming at an extremely fast speed. Some even evolved wings. They fly across the vast ocean, landing in human habitation. Although these 2 hunters are only D-level and first level, but it is the hope of the whole island. Every day's task is to find. Once a teleportation port is discovered, need to seek help from hunters outside the island immediately. Once more than 3 days. Ishihara hasn't arrived yet. They must take up arms to protect Class B hunters. Suddenly they noticed a strange figure in front of them. Come towards them. Take a closer look. Oh my God. Demonic remains everywhere in the demonic realm. As intelligence points increase, the number of shadow terms that Cheng Xiaoyu can extract and save gradually increases. It's a pity that these demonic powers are tainted, unable to extract. Otherwise, a large-scale army can be formed. Cheng Xiaoyu feels that the entire team is not efficient when working together. He divided the Shadow Warriors into 6 groups. They are Seattle Yegli Tebi King Iron Group, Bear Big Mouth Giant Beast Human, Giant Orcs Must Die. He also issued 2 orders to these 6 groups. A split up. Kill whatever you encounter. If a florid mission ticket appears, immediately inform him of the disbandment. Whoosh. The shadows spread out in all directions at lightning speed. Although apart from the license, all other items must be given up. It's a pity, but now the top priority is to get to the top as quickly as possible. As soon as the team was disbanded, a steady stream of experience came to my door. Cheng Xiaoyu once again felt how powerful the Shadow Lord's profession was. All he has to do is make up for the law and set up straight things where he is. A few days later, Xiongda has been promoted to level 24. Infantry upgraded to level 16. Shadow Magic Soldier reaches level 19. Not only Cheng Xiaoyu's level is improving, the levels of all soldiers are also rising rapidly. The speed of the strategy is also much faster than expected. Already reached the 80th floor. But I've been stuck here for 2 days. There has never been a World of Warcraft carrying the correct permission. Suddenly, a powerful firepower appeared behind him. Cheng Xiaoyu's magic power is rapidly passing away. Shadow Brothers are constantly being destroyed. Soldiers do not recover as quickly as they are destroyed. Completely suppressed. Look in that direction, it's Alan's team. Among the high-level demons, there are actually generals who can defeat King Ein, because the distance is relatively far. Cheng Xiaoyu had no choice but to shadow Zhao Wei first. The next day, other shadows were attacked one after another. After Alan, the Ygritte group and the Orc Thunder Group B were also arrested. What makes Cheng Xiaoyu puzzled is that on the branch road of the Yeglet formation is the Fonko. That guy just jumped over the fangs. Could it be that the suppressing monster can't beat the fangs? If he deliberately picked someone he could beat to attack, that means he can see through his opponent's weaknesses. Intelligent monster. Then his next target is likely to be Xiongda. Cheng Xiaoyu hid behind the building and waited for the opportunity. After a while, the enemy indeed appeared. Look at that posture, like a noble among demons. Xiongda roared at the enemy. A demon cavalry rushed up with a gun. Swish. Directly cut the bear in half. Cheng Xiaoyu suddenly realized. No wonder his magic power consumes so much. This female soldier has no chance of winning. Died as soon as he was resurrected. Suddenly a demon discovered Cheng Jinyu's existence. Rushed towards him. With a sharp thrust of his lance. Cheng Xiaoyu dodged the blow. Scud. Get 3,000 experience points directly. Seeing this, the other demons quickly rushed over. But they found that Cheng Xiaoyu, who was standing there, suddenly disappeared out of thin air. Still haven't figured out what's going on. Cheng Xiaoyu has arrived in front of him. Brushed. Killed 2 demon minions instantly. The remaining demon secretly stood there shivering. Cheng Xiaoyu smiled. I've always been curious about whether Warcraft has fear. Now I finally know that I didn't expect it. There are actually demon nobles in the demon realm. Just give it to the spear and the proud shadow subordinates. But it's still far behind compared to Cheng Xiaoyu. Effortless. Destroy the demon knight. The demon nobles on the side were trembling with fear. He picked up the weapon and stabbed it quickly. And Cheng Xiao quickly avoided the eyebrows and neck. Then the heart. All of them are attacking the vital points. This devil is very smart. Also very powerful. According to the level of Warcraft, this guy's strength is equivalent to an S-class monster. It's just that he met Cheng Xiaoyu, who was even more powerful than an S-class hunter. The demon noble's attacks are too difficult for him. Cheng Xiaoyu picked up the short knife, chopping away the devil's sword, then strangled the devil's neck. The short knife in his hand was swung quickly, available at critical moments. The devil spoke. Surrender. I surrender. Cheng Xiaoyu stopped what he was doing. He felt strange. How come the recent Warcraft can speak human language? And this voice is a woman's voice. Cheng Xiaoyu pulled off his helmet, revealing the face of a shocked girl. She raised her hands in surrender. Say to Cheng Xiaoyu, sorry, we were wrong. Don't kill us. The bear behind you is not happy to kill so many of us. Now I have to come to beg for mercy. The devil girl hurriedly explained. It is our family's duty to protect this place. So to those who wantonly hunt demons, we can't sit idly by. Please understand. Cheng Xiaoyu said to him, I killed everyone else. Only you are left. Not so good. Unexpectedly, this devil girl actually said to him, the duty of knights is to protect their lord. They died for me. Must be very happy. Cheng Xiao and Wu Yu. Why would he take it so naturally? What a selfish devil. But he looks like a human being. Still a girl. I really can't do it. Jianqing Xiaoyu relaxed his vigilance. The devil girl's eyes are shining with red light. He quietly took out the dagger hidden on his body. Suddenly stabbed into Xiao. But stabbed in a black shadow. He didn't know that Cheng Xiaoyu also had fangs. After he used the ice shield, the defensive skill he was most proud of during his lifetime, it's better now. Stealing the chicken will lose the rice. Successfully angered Cheng Xiaoyu. Have to say, this devil is so thick-skinned. See, the sneak attack failed. Kneel down directly on the ground. Ask Cheng Xiaoyu to spare his life, and I can give her anything I want. Cheng Xiaoyu didn't say anything more to him. After asking him directly for his day pass, Fong opening skill, the devil girl kneeling on the ground against gravity got up without wind. He was trembling with fear. Say it to Cheng Xiaoyu. Access is guaranteed by our family. As long as you don't kill me, I will prove your admission. Not only that, I also know that access to those floors above is being adjusted. As long as you can ensure the safety of me and our family, I'll tell you. Cheng Xiaoyu suddenly realized. No wonder he couldn't find any monsters after 2 days of hunting. It turned out that they were all carried up by the demon nobles. This condition really moved Cheng Xiaoyu's heart. But for these 2 demons who wanted to kill Cheng Jinyu, Cheng Xiaoyu doesn't know. This guy. She approaches the devil girl. A dark aura is slowly released from her body. It suddenly became dark all around. Only a pair of bright and murderous eyes remain. The devil girl was so frightened that she broke out in cold sweat. He trembled and said to Cheng Xiaoyu, I didn't lie to you. See that the deterrent effect is achieved. Cheng Xiaoyu ordered Jinya to put him down. Tell him, as long as you cooperate well, I can get the admission pass. I left quietly. But who are you? A man on an island in Nigua was so frightened that he shivered. In front of him, a huge monster was gnawing at him. Turn around. Man screamed in fear. She spread her wings and fluttered to the sky. Man dead. Many old people died tragically in his hands. How thick-skinned is this demon noble? If you can't beat me, kneel down and beg for mercy. Cheng Xiaoyu saw that he looked like a human being. He spared his life. Learned from the devil girl. Her name is Ahil. She is the eldest daughter of the Lardy family. Demon Realm 8 was once controlled by their family. Cheng Xiaoyu asked him, Can you hear voices in your head telling you to kill humans? Ahir was stunned. Think about it. Tell Cheng Xiaoyu that he can't hear it. But other sounds can be heard. Protect where you are. Cheng Xiaoyu thinking. It seems that the meaning of the existence of demons is different from that of Warcraft. The purpose of Warcraft's existence is to kill humans. And the devil is the guardian copy. For the devil, the invading Cheng Xiaoyu is the so-called devil. He asked Ahir, When did you start hearing that voice? Ahir told him, Since we woke up here. Cheng Xiaoyu thought for a while. Fong also said the same thing when he was a great wizard. It seems they all lived elsewhere before. This may be a line that can get close to the system itself. He asked Asher, Then where did you live before? Ahir told him, In the devil world. What kind of war is going on in the demon world? Prepare for war. We are going to war with a very powerful enemy. He is more powerful than all the demons put together. Otherwise, the content exceeds the scope of the license. Conversation interrupted. It was the same situation as the Ghost King at that time. Once they say something out of the ordinary, the system will be forced to interrupt. This seems to be an upgrade system tailor-made for Cheng Xiaoyu. Upgrade copy task. Task rewards and penalties. This process is like a continuous performance. The devil inside is also added with water like the game. Cheng Xiaoyu continued to ask, Who is that powerful enemy? The devil girl just said, but suddenly I felt a twinge in my head. Then he was completely stuck, staggered and fainted. It seems that the devil has been implanted with system commands. Once the system command is violated, will trigger the effect of a certain card. What kind of existence are the enemies of the devils? Why doesn't the system let me know? On an island in Nigua, the hunters shouted anxiously. It's a quick attack from Warcraft. This is no ordinary monster. The soldier next to him didn't even see clearly. I saw my dad being beheaded. This monster is very smart. Knowing that a protracted war would be detrimental to him, get rid of the weaker hunters first. In removal of treatment, greatly reducing their combat effectiveness. This is an intelligent monster. But why does he appear here? Behind him was a smoking wind turbine. The camera caught him committing the crime. The contents of the black box were transmitted to Country H. What appeared this time was a group of ants. 2 islands have been looted. 294 ordinary people were attacked by him. Join the hunt. There are 108 hunters in total. Sacrificed 4 cheats. A D class. There is also a C-level captain. The A-level hunter who joined later was the decisive factor in solving him. That is to say, conquer an epidemic. Ant needs an A-level hunter or above. People are talking a lot. The 2 countries are considered to have advanced hunter systems among the few in the world. A single ant can cause so much casualties there. If the ant flies to H and comes over, the consequences will be disastrous. President Gao Jianli told everyone. Jeju Island. Islands within 150 nautical miles have been attacked. It's only a matter of time before we come to country H. Defensive measures must be taken before this. But here comes the problem. Country H currently does not have the ability to play the role of Eru. Set up rehearsals on various islands. You can arrange for 1 or 2 low-level hunters to go over and give away people's heads. The president suddenly felt very anxious. When everyone is in danger, who else will come to support? Whisper softly in his ear. Huang Dongshu from the Daofu Guild offered to come